Welcome back to the Pickup Podcast. Today, I am your host, Gabriel Evan Pickup, and joining me is Sir Kentt Marino.
How you doing, Gabe?
I'm
What's
doing
going on?
good. How are you doing? You managed to make it here okay?
Yeah, I managed to get here all right. It was a nice long walk from Old Ziegler Hall
Oh,
down
Ziegler,
to Fine Arts.
the air-conditioned one. I'm
Oh
currently in
yeah, I got a
Ohio
little air
AC.
conditioned one. That's what you get when you fill your paperwork early. You get to
Yeah,
pick and choose.
lucky. So today we're going to be covering a kind of controversial topic. It's the consumption of alcohol and at what age you should be able to drink. I know there's been some talk maybe raising it to 25, and then there's other talks of lowering it to 18. Today we'll be talking about mostly lowering the age of alcohol. And so, Ken, what are your thoughts about changing the drinking age down to 18?
Um, well, the biggest argument I always hear is that you can, enroll to be in the army and, die for the country, but you can't,
Yeah,
get drunk. You can't get messed up.
yeah,
I mean, I can understand why people would be against lowering the drinking age because the fact of the matter is kids are degenerates. At the end of the day,
hmm
the kids, they
yeah,
mess up, they do stupid stuff, and that's fine, you know. Uh, but then again, I can kind of see why they want to lower it on a positive side because it's like, let's face it, I don't think I could find a kid that hasn't drank at the age of 18 that
yeah,
unless they were a Muslim or some sort of like religious,
hmm
reason why they don't drink,
yeah.
But yeah,
So everyone's got that experience. It's just a matter of whether or not it should be legal. I get
yeah,
that.
and
Um, yeah, you can go ahead.
no, please go ahead.
Okay. My next question was actually going to be, do you think that changing the age would like benefit the safety of the students, so they'll be able to reach out to a helping hand?
I think that changing drinking age would probably help a little bit because then some of these kids would have some, because it just like I've said before, is that you see kids all over the nation. I mean, I've seen it here. Like the first weekend you're here, they go out, they get drunk, and they never, drank before. The parents are maybe too strict or something, and they go out and they just get, absolutely obliterated,
Yeah.
and they got alcohol poisoning, and they go into the hospital that night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous,
It is a
because
little bit,
they were never given a little bit of leeway. So then when they got the freedom, they just went overboard.
okay.
Kids could die from this.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're aware.
Oh yeah, I've heard a few incidents,
Yeah, I
such
mean,
as the
bad.
Princeton incident.
Yeah, I have heard of that before.
Um, so you think that it would benefit the safety, but do you think that it's safe to have maybe a pub on college? So that way, you don't have to necessarily drive to consume alcohol. You can more so go
I
to a
would agree
place.
with that. I don't think that's such a horrible idea. I think it's probably safer because then it doesn't require people to actually leave campus and leave the site of the university
Yeah,
where it's safer and there's always someone around. There's always public
exactly.
safety.
Yeah, public safety.
I mean, that's one thing that was different for me when I first came to college. It's like, wow, this is weird. Like walking around, you come back to your dorm at 2 in the morning or something, studying with friends or out, doing something, and you come back and there's lights on. There's always somebody around.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of cool actually. It reminds me of like a city or something.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. So my next question is: do you think any conflicts could arise that would maybe hinder the legalization of consuming alcohol at 18?
You mean what
Like, do you think
is
any
there any negative?
maybe obviously from a finance point it would hurt students, but I'm thinking like, do you think that it would more so hurt the students in decision making, or no?
I mean, I think it could. Yeah, that's a valid point. I think it could,
hmm
but again, I think it comes down to whether or not you're going to be an adult or a degenerate.
Yeah, basically
Like
whether or not you can get educated, pretty much.
exactly. I mean, it's the same thing can go for an adult that's 35 years old. I mean, they could drink any. His legal age is 21, but they could drink when they have to be responsible and
Yeah,
know when to drink.
yeah,
Okay, Saturday night, I've got a friend driving me. I got a designated driver from the bar or whatever.
hmm
I can drink, or I'm staying home tonight. We're watching a game. I could have a few drinks.
yeah.
Like there are certain aspects. Like people will have to be responsible.
Okay, okay. Um, so this one's not really as thought of, but do you think maybe a course on alcohol safety should be mandated for students?
I think it should, but I think it should be a little more realistic. these like guidelines, like the way I always see it in schools, like it's very set up as like a bubble, and it kind of ignores the reality of what's actually going on.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost as if they were written by like helicopter moms that
Yeah.
never let their kid out ever, and this is just like what they saw on television. This is what they thought goes on.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not really realistic.
Yeah. No, that's a really fair point because from what I've seen, just as far as middle school and high school classes go for health, it's really unrealistic in expectations, and they need to be aware of the fact that not all kids do drink moderately, as maybe bad decision making as it could be. Some people still do not drink moderately, so it's very important to educate when people do overconsume on the emergency process of it. Do you think everyone should be required to take, not necessarily a class, but just like a one-day course on how to handle maybe alcohol poisoning or overconsumption?
I think they should have some sort of education that
Yeah.
prepares them for really the worst, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Your friend's sick, dying, throwing up. You got to be able to assess whether you're calling the hospital or your friend just needs, some water and relax.
Yeah.
There's certain levels because, I mean, you go through this process, whatever we have here, and the little bit of education I guess they give out here, and it's just like your friend threw up, immediate hospital. You gotta
Yeah.
get them there. And I'm like, yeah, I've had friends throw up many times. They throw up, they die. Not literally, but
Yeah.
they throw up. They're not feeling too great. I mean, I've had it back home. I've had it and then 20 minutes later, all right, let's go. Let's go to McDonald's. Let's get some food or something.
Oh,
You know what
yeah.
I mean, it's just like I feel like there needs to be a fair line between the two.
Fair line. So yeah, not just jump the gun.
Yeah, because that could cost a lot of money and cause a lot of heartache.
Yeah. Parents will get worried too.
It could be a huge problem, honestly.
Yeah. So all in all, you're for lowering the age of 18.
I am, but I think that it's not something to be taken lightly. I feel like it's not like they should just drop the ball on it. It's kind of like when I hear kids talk about like the legalization of marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm with that. I personally don't smoke weed or anything like that. I'm just not interested in it. But like I always hear kids are like, oh, they gotta do it. They'd write all these papers on it and stuff, and they're so open for it. But like they forget that like in those states where it is legal, you have to be 21.
Yeah.
They forget that in those states where it is legal, you could actually get in trouble for driving, under the influence of marijuana.
Yeah. Same laws apply. Actually.
Yeah, it's a lot of people forget that, and I feel like it needs to be like if they're gonna lower the age for drinking alcohol, it needs to be something that people actually have an understanding of, and it's not like they talk as if the rules would not apply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fair point. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, Kentt, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you
I
so much for
appreciate it
having
a
me.
lot. That's all we have today, and I will see you guys next week on the Pickup Podcast. Thank you very much.